I love sharing the places and people I meet through my videos. However, this time, with the borders finally opening in Japan, I thought why not show you around personally in real life. So a few months ago, I announced on my Instagram that I would be hosting a trip to one of my favorite underrated prefectures in Japan, Tottori. I had 10 people join me on this trip who came from all parts of the world but were either working, traveling, or studying in Japan. So come join us and let's explore some of my favorite places in Tottori.
Sange 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 Rokkon shoujo Rokkon shoujo はい、斜めがいいですよ
Let's step off the beaten path and explore Tottori. Access here is easy with direct flights from Tokyo, direct trains from areas in the Kansai region such as Kyoto, Osaka, and Kobe. Now let's go pick up the people that will be joining me on this special trip. Everyone came by train from the Kansai region, so I got my sign ready and went to the station to pick everyone up. Here are some awkward shots of us first meeting. It was my first time meeting everyone and everyone's first time meeting each other, so I think they just needed a little bit of time to warm up to each other. Oh wait, not her though. I swear it was our first time meeting, but some people were saying how it looked like we were friends who reunited after a very long time. So we hired a private bus and we're gonna take everyone around on that. But the coolest thing is, it's got a camel on it, so it's very Tottori-like. The first place I wanted to take everyone was to my favorite restaurant situated in the mountains for a welcome lunch. It was a 50-minute ride to the first place, so everyone was settling in, getting to know each other, and enjoying the scenic ride. We went during the first weekend of November, so this was the perfect time to see the autumn foliage. For lunch, they serve a traditional Japanese meal with everything sourced from the mountains nearby. Even though the owner was very busy on this day, she was very kind to go around to explain to everyone what was in the food. I even bumped into some viewers here who found out about this spot after watching my videos.
I'm doing like a tour right now actually.
Oh yeah?
So you guys should do it.
It's always nice seeing you guys in person, so don't be afraid to say hi if you see me around.
Thank you so much for my video. Wow, what a coincidence.
Next, we went back to the city to see what Tottori is most famous for. Their sand dunes. It wasn't the best weather when we came here, but nonetheless, the Tottori sand dunes are a pretty spectacular sight to see, and they are the largest sand dunes in Japan. They also offer various activities you can do here, like camel riding, yoga, segwaying, but my favorite has to be paragliding. I did this a few years ago, and some of you may still remember my epic faceplant in the sand. Another free yet fun activity you can do is race your friends down the sand dunes.
Go! Why am I lost? Why am I
Next, we visited the Sand Museum, which was just a short walk away. Japanese and world-class renowned sculptors from all around the world come into Tottori for a few months each year to create these amazing sand sculptures. Every 8 months or so, the theme changes, and this time we went, the theme was, can you guess? Egypt! It just blows my mind how perfectly they can sculpt everything by hand, and it also makes me want to poke it a little bit, but let's not try and make the whole thing collapse. The last stop of the day is to our host family's house, who we'll stay with for the night. I wanted to let everyone experience staying at a traditional Japanese house in the countryside and try some of the things that the locals do on a daily basis, such as cooking dinner. Our host taught everyone how to make some of the typical dishes she usually makes. Since they live by the sea and her husband being a fisherman, they usually have a lot of fresh seafood around, so that's what we had for dinner. After dinner, we played some games and hung out, and then everyone surprised me with this. We ended the night by taking a stroll to the beach to see the stars. The next morning, we said our goodbyes to our host and we were off. Next, we headed to the mountains for our hike. Good morning from Tottori. Today it's day 2 and we're starting the day on a hike. So we're gonna hike Mount Mitoku. It's one of my favorite mountains here in Tottori, and I've shown it in previous videos, and I'm super excited to hike it during the fall. So I'm excited to see the view. Let's go. Mount Mitoku is a sacred mountain and temple with a history of more than 1300 years. Traditionally, only monks undergoing spiritual training embark on this route that we are gonna take. I got the temple's head priest to guide us up the mountain to teach us about the history and meaning behind Mount Mitoku.
だからあくまで今回この山の中に入るのはこの6根をきれいにするために上がるんですよ。
You can climb the mountain in your own shoes. However, for a unique experience, most of us tried out the traditional straw sandals that the monks wear when they train here.
ここから先は人間よりも自然の方が上ですから、この中では草も取ってはいけない、石も一つも取ってはいけない場所になります。
Before we set off, Yoneda-san told us about the meaning of this hike. He said it was to purify our 6 senses: sight, smell, hearing, taste, touch, and mind. He wanted us to have the same mindset going into this hike as the monks do when they come here to train. Mount Mitoku is more of a climb than a hike. However, I find that really unique as I haven't experienced anything else like this in Japan.
This is easy.
It usually takes 1.5 hours to go up and come back down since it's only 900 meters high. However, since we had a big group and it was peak season, it took us a lot longer than that. As pilgrims approach the mountain shrines, they recite the words Rokkon Shoujo, a chant of purification to cleanse the mind and the senses. It's also said to help you through the difficult times, aka going up the steep hills. So that's exactly what we did.
Sange 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 Rokkon Shoujo Rokkon Shoujo.
However, there is quite a bit of climbing, so it may be difficult for some. Make sure to watch your footing as you go up the mountain. The climb will be all worth it once you reach the temple at the halfway point. You can walk around the edges of the temple, however just be careful not to fall off. It's a little bit scary at first, however the view is spectacular from here. This is definitely the best lookout point from the whole hike. We didn't have time to go to the top, however this temple is the main attraction when you go. After all that climbing, we sure needed a big lunch, so we headed nearby to this cafe by the lake. Koya Cafe opened at the end of 2021 and is already a popular cafe amongst the locals. They serve delicious Japanese-style homemade pizzas, and they have this gorgeous outdoor seating area where you can sit and enjoy your pizza by the lake. For the last stop of the trip, we headed to Misasa Onsen. Misasa Onsen is a hot springs town in Tottori, and what better way to end a trip than to soak in a nice Japanese hot spring. There are many Japanese inns here where you can stay the night or just pop in to use the hot springs during the daytime when it's open to the public. So there are also these public onsens you can get in, and I was just walking past and I saw someone, and this other guy came up to me. He's like, oh, you can take a video of him, he doesn't mind, we're used to it. I love the traditional streets and atmosphere of Misasa. It's just such a peaceful place to have a stroll since it's situated right by the river. That's a wrap for my first off the beaten path Tottori trip. I had a really good time, and I'm so glad I had great company, and I hope you guys also had a great time.
Thank you so much.
For the next trip.
Pardon?
Waiting for the next trip.
Oh yeah.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
What he said. See you on my next video. And maybe it's you that's gonna join me on my next trip. Yeah.